Hello everyone and welcome to episode 23 of the Quillpen, Quips, Knitting, and More podcast. I am Betsy, also known as Quillpen on Instagram and Ravelry, and this is a podcast about knitting mostly, and a little bit more about me thrown in, and a lot of signing because I am severely hard of hearing and we use sign language in our home and in our family, and so I do it on the podcast. So, is there anything else I need to bring up right at the beginning? I don't think so. I think we can go ahead and jump in. So, let's get started. First up is what is off my needles, what I have finished, and it is the Caprius shawl by Arohaknits. I finished it. I almost said finally, but I didn't want this to end. I really enjoyed making this. I just loved it. It was totally like potato chip knitting, like you just go. I loved it. Anyways, here it is. It is a really beautiful teal. I feel like maybe right here is a good color. Up here it gets kind of darker, but oh, it's really pretty. This is Wonderland yarns in their MCN base, which is the Queen of Hearts, and this is the Aquamarine colorway, which was a special colorway for the Arohaknits Fibre Muse Alchemy kits. So, I was able to finish 11 repeats. It was funny because I had finished the 10 and I had more yarn left over than I wanted. I wanted to keep going, but I wasn't sure I had enough to finish another full repeat, which you're supposed to bind off at a specific part. So I brought it to my knit night with my friends and I showed them. And one friend just looked at me and she's like, "Since when do you follow the rules? Like, who cares? Just knit until you want to stop or run out of yarn. It doesn't matter." And I was like, "You're right." I just needed someone to say that to me. So I kept going. I made these on a US size 6, which is a 4mm. And I have not yet blocked it. I will do that soon, which I think it will get bigger because the lace will open. So that's that. I'll put it on. Okay. It's cute. I like it. I love that you can dress it up or just dress it down. Either way. Okay, so that's off. Also off, but I don't have to show you, is the design project with the planned pooling. The first one, maybe the third one, but I made the first two out of the gray 80s glam colorway for me, and then I practiced again on the nighttime glam colorway of the same Sea Turtle Fiber Arts Ridley sock, but it's for my mom, to practice again to see if the math worked. And so the first one was the concentrated pooling on the side with the cable design, and that went well. It looks good, but it is blocking right now, so I decided not to show it to you. It looks the same. That one worked out. Which brings us to what is on my needles, which is the other one where I tried to do a a planned pulling in a design. This one is not. It's interesting. Okay. It's not what I expected. So I had my math, the number for the black part, the number for the color part, and I put it onto the website and it figured out, and I looked at all the different options and found one I liked and wanted to try, and was about the number of stitches that I wanted for size. And it showed me the picture and told me how many to cast on, so I did that. And I got started, and at first, it was kind of doing it. It seemed to be going fine, and then it changed. I'll show you. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Focus. Okay. This is what it is here. Okay, so you see this part where there's like line, 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 line. That's what was supposed to happen the whole way. It's supposed to be nice and even. And it started that way, right? See? That's what I was going for. And then suddenly it switched to this. I don't know how, I don't know why, because actually this much I did it one time. One sitting, knit, 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 knit. I didn't put it down and pick it up later. I didn't change tension. I was just going. So I was about here. I was like, wow, it's random. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I can fix it. So I showed it to my mom and I said, I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be this and now it's not. Do you mind that it's changing halfway? Because if you care, I'll rip it out and try to fix it or try something else. And she said, no, I love it. It's fine. I don't mind the random. I think it's cool. So I said, okay, I'll keep going. So I'm just kind of going to go until the yarn finishes or I'm close to it. I'm just trying to make a short cowl that's big, that scrunches. But then it started over again. Because here we have line, line, line. And then here we're going to the diagonal again. So it's almost patterning itself alternating. So I don't know if that's a dye reaction, like when it dyed, one section was shorter than another, and when I was doing my test knit, I didn't get that far to count the stitches differently to know that it was going to change, or what. So in this case, I think it's kind of cool, but it just solidifies my plan to not attempt to write a pattern for this because there's no way to know. And if this were to happen to someone else, I wouldn't know what to tell them about how to change or how to fix it. It's just too random. So it seems to work fine for the concentrated pooling in the center or on an edge. That seems so far to work on a variety of yarns. I have one more that's totally different company, totally different dye job that I think will still be able to do concentrated pooling. And I'm going to try one in the center because I've done it on the sides. So I'm going to try that and see if it still works. But this kind of design would have to be an individual basis. There's no way, like maybe it would work in a class situation where you can look and be together and do it right there in one long sitting, but for a pattern, it's not worth it. So I'm learning that, so I feel like this is beneficial. So that's that. And this is in my chicken boots wristlet in the snitch fabric. Clear. I love it. So that is that. That there. Okay, so that is still on. And that's the only thing on because I'm waiting for the next thing to be drawn, which will happen next Saturday. Today is Sunday, August 20th. Happy anniversary to my parents. 40 years, yay! Anyways, so Saturday is the next night where the number will be drawn. So I'm just kind of waiting. So I'm doing this. I don't want to start something big until I know what that is. So it's one of two things. They had us pick 6 options, but there's only 5 drawings. So this one is going to be one of 2. It will either be a shawl that I got last year, 2016, at the, I forget if it has a name. Anyways, the pop-up shop at the Knot House yarn shop in Maryland the night before Maryland Sheep and Wool. So this was a kit between Yoth and Magpie. They teamed up for the girls' road trip. So they put together kits. So it came with things. I mean, it has this stitch marker, progress, keeper, bag, and it came with a stitch marker bracelet thing in a cute little tin. But you get this with 2 pattern options. Should have looked at this. Yeah. So the yarn included is this. Kind of a dark brown gray and then a lighter brown gray. Good color. So these will make either one of the shawls. I want to do this one. It has mosaic knitting and color work, and I want to try that again. I've done a little bit, but I want more practice. So I'm going to do that one when the time comes. And this is Yoth's mother yarn. So that's one option. It will either be that, or the Tabitha cardigan with this beautiful lace panel. And then just an open front that's really cute. Okay. I got this pattern a long time ago, and the yarn I've been collecting since then. One of my favorite yarns to work with is the Fibre Company Meadow yarn. It's a lace weight, which this calls for lace weight held double, which actually works out perfect for me because my local yarn shop, or one of, had this yarn in the Aster colorway, which was this one. It's a really beautiful blue purple periwinkle color. This is Aster. So I would buy one periodically when I could. So I ended up with 4 from the shop, the local shop. But because the pattern is held double, I did not have enough. I needed 4 more. So I looked online, found a website that had Meadow, Aster colorway, different dye lot, but it was on sale, like a big sale, which is important with this yarn. So I went ahead and bought 4. And they arrived, and they are a different color. Which, can you even tell? This one, you can't really see it. This one is really purple. This one is really blue. But I have 4 and 4, and you have to hold them double. So I'm just gonna hold one of each. One from online and one from the shop at the same time. And so they'll blend the whole way through, and I think it will be perfect. So I'm actually really excited, but I really hope this is the one. It's funny because this was the first one I knew from day one when I joined the UFO group. Day one, this is on my list. It's number 1 on the list for me. I have been wanting and wanting and wanting to make it, and it never gets drawn, never gets drawn, never gets drawn. So, I don't know. Maybe it will finally be the last thing, and I will have maybe another Rhinebeck sweater to take. I don't know. Or maybe it won't be drawn, and I'll be making the shawl, and that would be fine too. But, okay. I wish the color would show up, but anyways, that's that. So one of those 2 options, we'll see what happens. I will let you know. Okay. Also for Will Be On. At the beginning of September, I am going to a conference. My mom and I are going to an essential oil conference for a weekend. We use a lot of essential oils in our home, with our family, with our kids, for our physical health support, for emotional and mental health, and lots of different things. They've been a wonderful, wonderful tool in our home. So the conference has a lot of different workshops and speakers about the science behind and blah, 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 blah. And it's just a really fun time. We have a lot of friends going. And this is a company that we use and we promote. We sell, we teach classes, etc. And so we're flying. So we have like 2 different plane flights to get there. And then the weekend workshops, speakers, events, and nighttime hangouts and everything. So I want knitting, but I want simple knitting. And I loved making plain socks during the conference that my husband and I went to just recently in June in Florida. So I'm thinking of taking socks, just plain socks. But I want fun plain socks. So I was thinking one of the 2, and I should have brought them down to show you, but I forgot. The white birch, B-I-R-C-H, yarns that I got this year, just recently, at that pop-up at the Knot House. They have a podcast, by the way, if you're interested in watching theirs. I got 2 colorways. I got Underground, which I think had 8 different colors that striped. And I got Nothing Says Screw You Like a Rainbow colorway, which I love. And that had the pops of blue and white that look like the sky, and then rainbow colors, small lines, alternating. So I'm thinking one of those to take with us. What do you think? Good idea? I think so. I think that would be the best. Just one full pair of socks. Simple. I'll think about it. Also, along those same lines, Rhinebeck. I'm signing Rhinebeck, RB, because I'm tired of spelling Rhinebeck. Is there an actual sign for Rhinebeck? Because I asked on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Ravelry group, and there's been no response. And obviously I don't have enough deaf, hard of hearing, signing, knitting friends to know, because there must be a sign for that town and the event, unless it's just New York sheep and wool. I don't know. Anyways, Rhinebeck. I am signing Rhinebeck from here on out until I'm told otherwise. Rhinebeck. You always hear about everyone making their Rhinebeck sweater. People are making Rhinebeck bags to take or whatever. But I don't know what people take for their Rhinebeck project. Obviously you're there, you're walking around, you're probably knitting, you're probably staying overnight, so you need something to knit at night with your group in your hotel or house or whatever. And we're going for a few days. We're going a day early. We're leaving the next day. We're staying in a house. There's 7 of us going together. So there's gonna be knit nights in our house. We'll be walking around. So I'm thinking I also need plain socks for that, right? The most simple for walking knitting and for chatting knitting. So I was thinking either my Gryffindor yarn from Bis-Sock yarns. I want like boot length socks, and I think I want them from that yarn. I love the long, because everyone knows I love my shorty socks. But I can appreciate a good boot length yarn. In signing, if you're talking about your feet, you move it to your hands. So this becomes your foot. This becomes your knee, so boot length. Okay. And at Rhinebeck, there is a lot of Harry Potter fans. So I think, that'd be a good conversation starter if you need something to chat about. The Harry Potter yarn, what house are you in, blah, 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 Gryffindor. So I thought that might be good. Or I also think the Nothing Says Screw You Like a Rainbow would be a good conversation starter color too. But I don't think I want boot length in that. I don't know. I have to think about that. So what are your Rhinebeck projects that you're taking? Do you just take one? Do you bring a few? I don't know. Tell me all of your ways. I should ask my group because they've all of them have gone before. I'm the only one this year that's new. So maybe they have wisdom to pass on to me. We'll see. Okay. I think that's it for finished, on, and will be on. So I have a little bit of acquisitions to show you. First are 2 bags, and I don't think they will be knitting bags, but I bought them at my yarn shop, so I feel like they fit to show you. Okay, now, so the yarn shop got these bags. I didn't know they were coming either, but one friend was there and saw them, took a picture and texted me and said, "Look at what the shop has." And I fell in love, so I was like, oh my gosh. And I should have just asked her, "Don't mind buying it, and I'll pay you back and you can give it to me later." That's what I should have said. But in the back of my mind, I thought, oh, maybe I should go and see it myself. Because knowing the shop owner, there's more than one color or design. And I might like something else, or I might like something better. So I said, awesome, I'll go to the shop later. Because another friend was working. So I said, have her hold one for me if they're selling out, and I will be there this afternoon. So I show up. Okay, here's the first one, the one I planned to buy from the get-go. Look how cute! Library books, or a bookstore. Well, it's a library, and I'll show you why I know that in a minute. So library. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And it's a tote. So there's the big. This is Blue Q. Blue Q. And that's how I know it's a library. Oh, I love it. And it's made out of all recycled materials. So it's strong but light, and it's gonna be great for errands with the boys, library books. I don't have to worry if it like rains, because this will be fine. I can just wipe it off, or if, I don't know, something spills, it's great. So I think this is gonna be a good, like, in the car when I need just a bag for shopping quick. So I love it. It's super fun. Perfect for me. But I also saw this one. And it says chapter 1. I love typewriters. When I was growing up, I have been a writer since I could write. I remember in elementary school, I wrote a little book for a class I was in. And then I remember writing my first little book at home, a mystery, of course. And I was like 7. And since then, I have been a writer. But growing up, my mom had her old typewriter, and so I would use it. I would bring it to my room, set it up, and type. And I loved the smell of the ink. I loved the vibration while the motor was going. And I know that it's totally like generational differences. Like the generation that had to use the typewriters now probably hates them and is telling me that I'm crazy because it's wonderful that I have computers and technology to be able to type, more efficiently now. And I understand that. I appreciate that. But I love the old typewriter, and I just love how hands-on and tactile it is. And anyways, and I just type, and then ding, and I don't know. It was my thing. And then one of the letters broke. I think it was like an E. And so it would either not type, or it would do like 15. E. So I had to work, I tried to work that out. I either emphasize that, so it'd be like, wee, or I would try to use words that didn't have the letter E. Anyways, but I love typewriters and I love writing books, and so I felt like that was a good fit. And this one is just a simple zipper. That's it. So this I might use for like notions, scissors, whatever, for my knitting, or I don't know, it'd be cute, like clutch. I cannot spell today. I am sorry. Clutch purse if I'm going out. I don't know. Oh, but I love them, and I couldn't say no. I said no to all the other ones because they were all cute in their own ways, but these fit me. So I am very excited about them. And they were not expensive. They were not crazy expensive. They were worth it. So also I got the last of the Mint Rain hand-dyed yarns Murder Mystery Mini Skein Yarn Club. So it was June, July, and August. So the August one arrived. This is the Seaside Knitters. That's a mystery book series that I have never read, but my mom loves. So, there we go. They're so pretty. So, if you know the books, this one is Death by Cashmere. This one is Patterns in the Sand. This one is Holiday Yarn. This one is Angora Alibi. And this one is Finely Knit Murder. So, they're so pretty. And I decided it was important for me to read the books now that I have the yarn. And look at this. So this is the first book, and it's the first book in the series. Do you see these colors? Do you see these colors? It matches this. I see it now, and I got the second one. So the green and the purples. I see now. I see how they match. And I love that. It's so cool. So you can see them all again. This is the Agatha Christie set. This is the Death in Paradise TV show set. And then I love it. I am so glad that we joined this. So we are going to divide them up, which is actually, I think, going to work out just fine because she likes the pinks and I don't like pinks as well. I love green and she doesn't like green the same. So I think we're going to be able to divide and both be really happy with what we get. And we were looking at on the Grocery Girls Ravelry, their podcast page. They have a tab that says 5 bundles. Well, right now it says 5 bundles. And if you click on that, it gives you a list of different groupings that they have put together. One of which is mini skein projects. So you can look at that and see a lot of different options of patterns that use mini skeins. So we were looking at that and thinking about what we could make because neither one of us have a lot of experience with mini skeins. But there are a lot of projects out there that would, I think, look great with these, especially because within each set, there's something similar. Where's a good example? Like this color shows up in almost every one. I think it's in here too. Yeah, it's right there. Or it's right there. There it is. So they coordinate. And a lot of her blues are the same. Like I was saying how this one right here, this is the Agatha, Agatha Christie colors, but this is the same as so there's going to be a lot of ways to match them across, even if we divide. So one of the patterns that I saw from that page was the pixel something, I think. Cowl. Oh, I love it. You should look at that. I don't know who designed it or anything, but I remember kind of way back now on the Grocery Girls podcast, Tracy had made the pixel socks and they were like stunning, like, oh, beautiful. I love them. They were so cool and interesting, and it's like kind of this fade craze now, fad, where you're connecting colors, but not in a fade. Like it's like obvious pixel. But this one was a cowl option, which I loved even more. So I'm looking at that. There was a few other options that I noticed. So we'll see. But speaking about the Grocery Girls and socks, I learned something very interesting on a recent podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about it. I don't know if you care, but I'm going to tell you about it because I cared. So I started making socks, right? The girl that said she would never make socks now makes a lot of socks. And so I learned about nylon being an important part of the blend to give strength and durability to the socks. Makes sense. That's fine. So recently we were at Maryland Sheep and Wool, and I saw the socks that rock. Right? So, I don't know. The socks that rock booth. And I had never really heard of them, but we went and looked through, and everything there was 100% superwash merino. No nylon. And I was like, how can you have great sock yarn that doesn't have nylon in it? I was like, I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to make socks that don't have nylon because I'm stuck up like that, I guess. So I was like, I don't understand. And I let it go. So on the podcast, Tracy was saying how when she started knitting socks, she heard about socks that rock and used that yarn first. Didn't know anything about nylon or whatever. Used that yarn and made her socks and liked it, whatever. Then she learned about nylon and started using, wool nylon blends. But she said the socks from the socks that rock yarn lasted way longer before a hole or whatever than any of her socks with nylon. Isn't that interesting? And she said that it's because of the twist. And I don't know if that means that it's a high twist or a certain type of twist, or what is different about their twist than any other twist. But she said it was specifically the way their yarn, the twist that their yarn has, makes it more durable than nylon. And I thought that was so interesting. So now, of course, I'm wishing I had bought some socks that rock so I could try it and test it and see what happens. I could just wear my socks all the time and test. And I don't know if they're going to be at Rhinebeck. Do socks that rock go to Rhinebeck? I don't know. But I might have to keep my eye out for socks that rock and try some and see if that's true. Granted, none of my socks yet have holes. All of my socks still are fine. So they're about a year, maybe 2 years of winter where I don't really wear socks in the summer, but in the winter, every day. So I don't know, but isn't that interesting? If you know more about that, please let me know. I would be fascinated. I'm fascinated at how all of that works. I don't understand it, but I found it. Okay. Oh, my new Fibre Muse Alchemy kit came. This is the Seeker, which I am not a seeker on her little quiz. I'm not a seeker. I think I'm a dreamer. The first was Mystic. This one came with the Mystic. This is the Seeker. The Seeker likes, I wonder if she says, she gives a description somewhere. This is more like natural, natural fiber, whatever. So that's the book. It comes with these two patterns. And then the kits either had, well, they all had the dark, kind of a dark blue, black, and then either this or this. I got and this is, well, is it? Yeah, Baby Yak. And she said that when you knit your project and then wet block it, it will become so much more soft. So I'm excited about this. I think I'm going to make the hat. We'll see. I think so, though. It also came with beautiful hand forged stitch markers. Oh, they're beautiful, and they can be used for either knitting or crochet. This from and cute little tin. And all the different stitch markers. Some, I can't get them out, but some are crochet and some are just the silver. That's all cute. So that was new. Is that everything for Fibre? I think so. So I think that's the end of the Fibre section. So next I'll be moving into the chatter just about myself and my life and everything. So if you are not interested in that part, that is fine. I understand. Thank you for joining me for this part, and I will see you next time. Let's move on. Okay. Chatter. Oh, so school started. My husband went back to work on Wednesday, so we started school too because my 3-year-old was begging to start preschool. Now, we homeschool. I was planning on homeschooling. I was not really planning on a formal preschool because preschool is letters and numbers and sounds and math concepts and shapes and everything that can be done during play. Planning play, right? Educational play, if you will. Nothing that needs to be sitting at a table with a book and a pen. You don't need to. I love learning, right? I love educating myself on all the things. But I don't like formal, structured school. Don't like it. I don't learn well that way. I don't think it's necessary. I just love the freedom that homeschooling gives you to focus your learning towards your learning style. With that said, my son, his learning style is sitting at a table with a book and a pen. And he is loving it. See, I knew Wednesday was going to be a big day, first day of school. He was so excited. And then I thought that maybe Thursday and Friday we could forget about school. You don't need to do preschool every day. Focused preschool. You don't need to. I tried telling him that. He didn't care. Because Thursday and Friday mornings I had stuff. We had to go places or do things. So I thought he might forget about school. Breakfast. School next, Mom. School. Please. School first, Mom. Please. Okay. I love that he is loving learning. And I love that he is helping me grow. Right? That's one I guess the positive and negative of having kids. Especially kids that are different than you, is you have to adjust. And you learn new things and new ways with them. So I am learning to enjoy sitting at a table with a pen and doing school. We have about 6 workbooks. You know, one is numbers, one is beginning sounds, one is pen control, all the different things. And so we do 1 page from each book. every morning, apparently, not just 2 days or 3 days a week. And he just loves it. He is responding so well. I can see him learning. I can see him really engaging. And he likes that formal, focused structure of school. So I am adapting myself, and I am following his lead. That's what he wants to do. And that might change, and I know that, and that's great too. We'll figure that out. And Rome might be different. Right now, Rome wants to do it too. He wants to sit, he wants his crayons, and he wants to color his paper. And he wants me to write his name and the day at the top and put a sticker on it when he's done. And so he asks for that too. And his attention is much shorter. He'll color and then leave and then come back and leave and come back. Dublin does his paper, closes it. What's next, Mom? Does it. What's next, Mom? All morning. Finally, I cut them off and I say, go play. It is time to play. But I do love encouraging them to love learning their way. So that's what we're doing for now. The baby is 7 months old. He's not even a baby that much anymore. He is finally sitting up. Let me tell you, I think when they can sit up on their own, it's like a whole new life begins, right? I can put him, he sits, he doesn't crawl yet, he just sits. You give him a few toys around that he can reach, and he is happy for like 15 minutes. And I can just sit, or I can clean, or whatever I want to do without screaming baby or holding a baby. I feel like I'm in a really good place right now with the ages of the kids. Like, the days are not as stressful as they were last year or as I expected them to be. So far, we're good. It's been a good week. It's been good. And I know everything's going to change in a second. But right now, I am content. I am happy. Everything is good. So that's nice. That was nice. It was nice to have a good first week back. And it's funny because last year, when Andrew left for work, Dublin would just sob. He was so sad. He missed Daddy. He was crying. And we would watch Daddy drive away out the window, and he would just cry. But this year, it's all like, we don't start school until Daddy leaves. So now it's like, go Daddy, go to work. I want to start school. So that's another benefit of his enthusiasm for school, is that he is ready for Daddy to leave so that we can start. Oh, it's been fun. It's been good. I have also been doing a lot of theater, which is so fun and so nice. And I feel like it's just really like rejuvenated me. I'm feeling like myself again. And for the one local, we have two kind of, I would say the most local to me, community theaters. One of which the show that they are auditioning right now, unfortunately, the performances go during the weekend of Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck wins. So I can't audition for that one. But the other one is the 2 weeks before. So it finishes before we leave for Rhinebeck. So I'm auditioning for that. And we're still in auditions. It's one of those, it's open auditions. So you can come once, you can come however many times. And I try to go to every audition night that I can, just because I feel like that's nice. It kind of shows that I care. It gives the director the opportunity to read everyone without stressing that they're never going to see me again. I have the opportunity to read with lots of different people and show the director different things each night, which I think can only be beneficial. And it's just fun. I really enjoy open auditions where you just go with a group of people and you're reading scenes and it's like a little show in one night and it's fun. I don't feel too pressured. So we'll see if the director thinks I'm a good fit or not. It's fine. I'm having fun. The other thing I've been doing is what's called no shame theater. And this was something I went to when I was in college. I think I started in college when I'd come home for weekends, or when I transferred to the college here, I would go. And it used to be Friday nights at like 11 at night, right? So it was fine for a college student. Mom of 3 kids, wasn't the best time. So I haven't gone since I started having kids. But this year, they moved it up to 9 on Friday nights. Every Friday night, every Friday, I can't sign correctly. Every Friday night at 9 in our little town. It's in a new place to me too. They moved locations, but this one's actually closer to me than the old one. And it's just open. It's like an open mic night, kind of, a little bit like black box theater, kind of. Basically anyone can perform anything. Has to be original, has to be yours, or something that someone wrote for you to perform. Has to be 5 minutes or less, and it can't break anything, including the law. So there can be musicians. There was a magician one night. I've seen someone build one of those marshmallow shooters and shoot marshmallows in 5 minutes or less. People write poetry, people write monologues, people write scenes that 2 or 3 people perform. Sorry for the screaming children. Something is happening upstairs that I don't know what. Anyways, so I've been going, and it's really just encouraging that creative side of me that I had lost a lot of. I have been really inspired. My mind is always going. I'm thinking of things to write about, or monologues or poems. I did an ASL poem this last 2 days ago. First ASL poem I've written, performed myself. It was great. I was so excited. I've done 1 monologue. I've written a monologue for next week. It's just been really fun and chill. There's no shame. Everyone loves whatever you do, and it's just been a good fit for me right now. So that's been just a really good thing for me. Hold on, my son is coming. Yes. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, hi.
Well, come in. This is Devlin. What do you need? I guess he's just gonna hang out while I finish. That's fine. Let's see. Oh, reading. I haven't yet started I will soon. But I've been reading this. I found this. It's a newish one. I think there might be another one that's new too. I love Gregory Maguire. This is the guy that wrote Wicked and all of those. He wrote, so he tends to take a normal story like a fairy tale or something that we all know or think we know, and just turn it on its head and just surprise you, and you think, I never thought about it that way. Like Wicked. Like, is she really wicked? Who knows? Okay. He's gonna join. So this is my co-podcaster, Devlin. Yeah. So, okay, so he also wrote Mirror Mirror. That's a twist on Snow White. He wrote Confessions of the Ugly Stepsister, which is a twist on Cinderella, etc., etc. I have read all except The Next Queen of Heaven. I haven't read that one, and I don't know what that is. I haven't read this one. So this is the twist on Alice in Wonderland. And it's about this girl that falls after Alice. I've just started. I'm not very far. but it's about the girl that falls down the rabbit hole after her. And so she's kind of following and seeing what's going on. And so it's going to be a twist on Alice in Wonderland. And I was so excited to find this. So that is what I'm reading right now. I'm not really watching anything except podcasts. I'm watching all the podcasts now that we're back in school, back into a schedule in the afternoons when all three boys are napping. Sometimes they nap at the same time for an hour, and I can watch a whole podcast. It's amazing. So I've been catching up on all of my favorites, most of whom are going to Rhinebeck. So I will see a lot of these people that I know but don't know in Rhinebeck, and I'm very excited. So I plan on meeting everyone and saying hi and giving hugs and everything. Also, this has nothing to do with knitting, but I wanted to show you. I joined the Hogwarts running club.
Mommy?
Yes, Dublin?
I think Rome's coming down and see you.
You think Rome's coming down to see me?
Yeah.
Maybe. Look at this.
Ooh.
Ooh. This is the Eternal Glory 4-miler. It's for the Goblet of Fire, where there's the 4 participants. And then the back has Cedric. Oh, I just love it. So this is just a virtual running club. So I joined this race. You don't have to do it in one thing. You can break it up. I tried to challenge myself to do 4 miles in one shot. I didn't run the whole thing. I ran some and walked some, and that's fine. I accept that. So I did do that. But it arrived, and it has this the cool Quidditch, and it's just Velcro. So I thought that was really special and cool, and I wanted to show you because many of you are Harry Potter fans like me. So I think that's it.
No.
Is that everything?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, if I think of something else, we'll add it to the next podcast, okay?
Oh, maybe.
Do you want to say bye?
No.
No? Well, I'll say bye. How about that? So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Happy knitting!